hours of insight, showcasing the vital roles of surveyors and how they shape the very fabric of our nation. Discover the diverse types of surveyors and the critical functions they perform, from land surveyors shaping urban landscapes to hydrographic surveyors mapping our waterways. The Benchmark will take you on a journey behind the scenes to explore all of these in details. So join us every Friday at 10:15 a.m. on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM as we explore how surveyors contribute to national progress, their role in infrastructure development, disaster management, and environmental conservation. Fridays at 10:15 a.m. The Benchmark, redefining surveying for an improved city.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. You're welcome to The Benchmark, which is a program which is dedicated to bringing best practices in surveying just to ensure that we have well-planned cities and make them much better. This is an initiative of the Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria, and it comes to your listening pleasure every Fridays from 10:15 through 11. You're welcome. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, so we took more or less like a kind of holiday, yes, after an extensive coverage of the surveying profession all throughout last year. And we're back on the block in the month of May just to ensure that you have things going your way. All right, so on this first edition of the program, we're going to be reflecting through surveyors as the foundation of all meaningful infrastructural and sustainable infrastructural development and urban planning. So we'll be reflecting on that. But before that, quickly, let's get back to the roads and let you in on what's going on right now. It's still a slow and steady kind of movement. Those of you who are navigating through the Secretariat heading towards 7 up, there's a fallen truck which is being worked on. But what's the latest with that? Let's know if that has been fully taken care of. Within the Ojo corridor, I understand things are getting much better right now. Yes, earlier on we had it pretty thick in terms of your movement, but it's much better as we speak right now. All right, breakdown of a 20-feet leading container truck with sharp problem, and that's when you're approaching Jakonde traffic light inwards Chisco. This is on the Lekki Aja corridor. Tow truck contacted for evacuation while traffic personnel are managing the traffic around that particular zone. A little bit busy around that area for now, but no major worries. That's the latest from the control room. Let me see if we can still get you in touch with one or two more as it relates to your movement from one location to the other. All right, Alausa Ikeja, now experiencing busy movement. Yes, we'll talk about that. The stretch of Nuruddin Oluopopo from the from the third traffic light onwards lands slow and steady. Well, let's take this call. Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah, Raphael.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I can hear you, Raphael.
Okay, I'm right here as that earlier reported a falling truck at Lagos Ibadan Expressway, close to Total Filling Station.
Okay.
I want to confirm to you that the affected falling mini truck has been sold off the road, and the content are still right on the road. As it is now, another truck has come so that the content can be also transloading. Yes.
Okay.
But as it is, we still have it moving traffic. We still have a moving traffic, but they occupied about one lane of the road, about 3 lanes, including the emergency lane, the yellow line. It's all still available for the motorists to use. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Raphael.
That means the traffic might have extended down to Beja by now. Beja, but it's moving. But the alternative route is that the motorists coming from Beja are likely this Nuruddin Oluopopo to connect to Secretariat, from Secretariat to connect to Mobolaji Bankatoni,
Johnson.
Connect back to 7 up.
Right.
Yes, or can also connect back to also the line underneath the bridge to link the Semet road. Depends on where the motorist is going. But aside from that, it's still moving. It's still a moving traffic on the express.
All right. Okay then, Raphael, thank you.
That was counted.
All right, so that truck that we were making reference to has been taken off, towed off to one side, but the spilled contents, which I understand is paint, yes, is being transloaded right now, and of course it's slow and steady. It's not a standstill situation, it is slow, but like he was talking about there, you can still make use of Nurudin Olopopo to connect the Secretariat, and from there to Mobolaji Johnson, and from Mobolaji Johnson you will burst out at 7 up to continue on your journey. More reports will be coming in from time to time.
Surveyor is? Do you know that surveyors play a vital role in the development of a city's infrastructure and sustainability? Yes, surveying is critical to the development of a modern society. The boundaries of our natural and constructed world are determined by the work of surveyors. But how well do you know these unsung heroes? Let's get into the world of the surveyors on the Benchmark as we discover the unsung heroes behind our city's development. The Benchmark is a 45 minutes weekly dose of insight, showcasing the vital roles of surveyors and how they shape the very fabric of our nation. Discover the diverse types of surveyors and the critical functions they perform, from land surveyors, shaping urban landscapes, to hydrographic surveyors, mapping our waterways. The Benchmark will take you on a journey behind the scenes to explore all of these in details. So, join us every Friday at 10:15 a.m. on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM as we explore how surveyors contribute to national progress, their role in infrastructure development, disaster management, and environmental conservation. Fridays at 10:15 a.m. The Benchmark, redefining surveying for an improved city.
On this first edition of the Benchmark, we'll be looking at surveying, the foundation of sustainable infrastructural development and urban planning. And joining me in the studios this morning, I have Surveyor Agu Ogona Roberts, MNIS. He is Publicity Secretary of the Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria, Lagos State Branch. Surveyor Agu Roberts, it's nice to have you back in the studios. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. It's good to be back.
All right, so Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
This is the fifth month, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
You guys were into the holiday, so to say.
Yes, we needed to step back, reevaluate, and then to be able to refire.
Okay.
And we're back.
Which is good. We are firing all cylinders right now.
Yes.
Joining us on the phone line is Surveyor Adams Olubenga Benjamin, member, Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. And he is the Vice Chairman of the Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria, Lagos State Branch. Nice to have you join us, Surveyor Adams. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. Good morning, Lagosians. Good morning, surveyors of Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's nice coming back on air.
All right.
Happy New Year and Happy New Month.
Great. So something has changed about your title. Before now, you were the National PRO, but as we speak, you are the Vice Chairman of the Lagos State Branch. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm still the National Public Secretary of the Association of Private Practice Surveyors of Nigeria, but I now have another portfolio since March 19, 2025 as the Vice Chairman.
Oh, great.
Lagos State Branch.
All right, so let me say congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
So let's kick off the conversation right away. So the surveying profession, we've dwelt on this severally last year, and people were able to connect with your importance. How are things faring with the profession, Surveyor Agu Roberts? Let's start with you.
Okay, I would say things have been faring well. Things have been going well, but it can only get better. But I would want to say that the level of patronage has been high.
Okay.
The level of awareness from members of the public has also been very encouraging.
All right.
Unlike before, when you have to explain so many things, you know, to certain clients before they get to understand the importance of surveyors. But we can say that in the past year, that the awareness has really grown and people are becoming more aware on why they need surveyors.
Which is very, very good. So,
Very good.
Olubenga Adams, I know you are not in the studio because of one very important assignment which the surveyors are up to. Talk to us. What are you guys doing where you are?
Well, you know, private APPSN is not all about the practice alone. It's all about the ethics of the profession, but about the welfare of our members. Because we discover that most of our members, they work, they practice ethically, but they try to forgo some of the things that are personal to them that will make them to live a better life.
Right.
So on that note, the association has embarked on what we call surveyors estates.
Oh.
So we are doing the groundbreaking of our surveyors estate in Obasanjo Farm at Oteri.
Oh,
This morning,
wow.
the first phase, we are having it this morning. So we'll be allocating plot of land to a minimum of 24 practitioners in Lagos State.
Wonderful.
Where they can build their own personal house. We have other things we'll be doing for next week. We'll be doing free medical checkup for our members, though we're on HMO. So we are talking about the ethics of the profession. We are looking at the welfare and the well-being of practitioners in Lagos State.
Which is very, very good. And Surveyor Ogona Roberts, this speaks to welfareism of the association. Is that correct?
Yes, it does. APPSN is not just bordered, like Surveyor Adams rightly said. We're not just interested in the ethical practice of our members. We're also interested in their well-being and their welfare, because it takes a man who is healthy to practice ethically. You know, so we're interested in the well-being and the welfare of our members, and to ensure that they are not just there slaving themselves and not thinking about their future. You know, yes.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty now of this advocacy, which we've been doing for several months now. So when we talk surveying, how is the surveying world? Of course, you reflect upon that, but when we talk surveying, really, what comes to mind? And when people hear that term, surveying, what should be the ideal? Surveyor Olubenga Adams?
Well, tactically, and in a layman's sense, surveying is about the determination of the location of every portion of a land on the earth surface, determining the size, the length, the breadth, what happens where is what located.
Okay.
But sincerely, I want to appreciate Traffic Radio FM. I want to appreciate APSM for the advocacy we started sometime last year. Sincerely, we were thinking we needed to inform the public. We needed to inform people out there patronizing surveyors. We never knew that most of the things we are doing, we are informing even practitioners. People will come to the floor of the house to come and tell you that most of the things that we tell the public out there, they are practitioners. They don't even have access to that information.
Wow.
Because we always assume that we all know. But you know, knowledge is power.
Right.
What you don't know is above you. And sincerely, members of the public are now well informed about who to talk to when it has to do with surveying. People are now well informed that it is not only when they are buying land alone that they needed the service of a surveyor. That surveying cuts across every aspect of life. That is why surveying is referred to as bedrock of any meaningful development.
And I love the way you guys have painted it. Bedrock, I'm saying it's the foundation. But Ogona Roberts, how important do you think surveying is in infrastructure development and urban planning? Let's touch down on that.
Okay, now I would like to start by painting this picture. For you to put up any physical infrastructure, you need to know what is where. And that is one of the questions that surveying seeks to answer. What is where? Where is what? So you need to know what is on that particular land. You need to know the terrain. You need to know the nature of that earth surface. So surveying doesn't just define length and breadth. We also define terrain nature.
Right.
So it defines the topography of a particular portion of the earth surface. It defines, the extent of a parcel of land needed for infrastructural development.
Can a survey tell me what's underneath the ground?
Yes, of course. We have underground surveys that seek to define compositions of things that we have underneath the earth crust. Yes, so and there are specialized equipment for detecting that.
Will a survey plan tell me if I have gold on my land or oil or mineral resources? Olubenga, can surveying tell me that? Hello? Surveyor Adams?
Can you come up with the question again?
Yeah, I said, can the survey plan tell me if I have oil, if I have gold, if I have diamond on my land? Will you be able to tell me?
Definitely. Most of these places where they mine mineral resources, where mineral resources have been discovered, you need to carry out the survey. We call it special survey. You need to carry out the survey to be able to determine what and what do we have in this particular area, and if at all we need to know what is underneath. We have a survey plan. We have mining survey.
Right.
We have mining survey. We have oil survey, all exploration. So you need to carry out the survey to be able to determine. That's why in the oil producing state, you hear what is common as seismic survey. Seismic survey is this kind of survey they do to determine the kind of and the content and the how far an oil is located in the particular region.
Right. Let's talk about terms, because there are certain terms that comes along with surveying: accuracy, precision. Is that correct, Surveyor Ogana Roberts?
Very correct.
And how important is that to infrastructure development?
Oh, very important. Now, I will always like to answer questions with painting scenarios. For instance, the Coastal Road project that is ongoing now is supposed to span from Lagos to Calabar.
Right.
That's in Cross River State. It's going to be cutting across a number of states. Now, imagine that the project is coming from opposite ends. So we kick off the Lagos end and then kick off the Cross River end, and then also kick off intermediate sections. So you have a section kicking off from Edo State. You have another section kicking off from Delta State. You have another section kicking off from Ondo State.
Right.
The absence of qualified surveyors on that project will be a disaster, because at the point where all these sections of the road are supposed to merge into one single alignment, you will discover that you have disjointed road alignments.
Okay.
And that speaks to the precision and the level of accuracy that surveyors deploy on projects.
So precision is very, very...
very key.
Right. So how does surveying contribute to the design, construction of roads, bridges, and even buildings? Are they needed in those ones? Surveyor Olubenga Adams? Hello? Surveyor Adams, are you there? Okay, it appears we've lost the line to him. So, but Ogana Roberts, how does it contribute?
Oh, of course, it plays a major role, because the structural engineers, the architects, the quantity surveyors cannot even do anything until the surveyors have finished the initial part of their measurements.
Okay.
Because the architects cannot design in isolation. They cannot design without having an idea of what is existing on ground. So that's why when you're having a road project, the first thing, especially if it's a virgin road, the first thing that happens is that the surveyors move into the site and carry out a route survey in conjunction with also a topographical survey to show the true terrain. And then with that, the architects come up with their designs, the estate surveyors come up with their designs, the town planners come up with their designs, and then the structural engineers also come up with their designs. And this cuts across road projects, bridges, housing and urban development and all that, because you need to know what is existing on ground before you decide what to design.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so Surveyor Olubenga Adams, are you there?
I'm with you, sir.
Good. So what are the major things that the public needs to know about surveying? Because a lot of times we seem to connect with you guys more only when we need a survey plan. So for those who are listening to us this morning, what are the major things that we need to know about the surveyor, and how can we make good use of you guys?
Well, for everything that has to do with construction, whether houses, road, erecting drainages, the first person that comes into mind as a professional is the surveyor, and he's surveying. For you to be able to get it right ab initio. Let me paint a scenario. A contract of a construction company was terminated about 2-3 months ago. This was the company that were handling the road project, between Oyo to Ogbomoso.
Okay.
The adequate route survey of that alignment was not carried out. I think it was lifted on an orthophoto. We have what we call orthophoto.
Okay.
But unfortunately, they thought a portion was a bush, not knowing that it was a convergence of rock that spanned over 5 kilometers. So
Wow.
on that note, they've been on that route since the tenure of Goodluck Jonathan that awarded the project to them. They could not move to the front, they could not move to the right, they could not move. So that section was abandoned. So they had to start blasting the rock, using it to do construction. But because there was no room for variation, they could not complete the project in good time. Federal government had to terminate that road. So that's to tell you that for any meaningful development that needs to be done, surveying is important. Surveyors are necessary to be involved.
All right, then. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning, we are on the benchmark, and we are reflecting on surveying as the foundation of sustainable infrastructure development and urban planning. All right, a flash update coming in says there's a report of an accident that occurred on the Mile 12 bridge involving a PSP truck and a commercial bus. All right, so control room, you can help us confirm that. Mile 12 bridge, a PSP truck and a commercial bus. All right, let's see if that is very, very accurate. Emergency responders needed to also help curtail the situation. All right, so let's see if you can help us get to that particular location. Mile 12 bridge, an accident between a PSP truck and, of course, a commercial bus. Let's see how you can help with that as well. We'll be opening the lines very, very shortly so that you can also share your thoughts with us as it relates to what we are talking about as surveyors. But, Ogona Roberts, these are very, very critical, very crucial for people to get it right. But from what you see, in terms of those that are making good use of surveyors in Nigeria, and if you limit it to Lagos, what's the consciousness level from what you see?
Well, the consciousness level is still it's improving, even though we're not there yet. We're not there yet, but there's an improvement, relative improvement from what we used to have. And then let me just even say something, just to add to what Surveyor Adams was talking about earlier, about the company that lifted, an orthophoto and used that for their planning. In surveying, there's what we call ground truthing. Okay. Now, ground truthing is where if you have done a design based on aerial photographs, ground truthing is where you deploy your surveyors to go and verify if what you have represented on that area photograph actually exists on ground. If the company had done ground truthing, that problem would have been averted.
Okay.
Yes.
So that could have been properly tackled.
Yes.
All right, then. Another flash update coming in from the control room. Bukola, thank you so much for sending this one. Says it is a loaded containerized Mack truck broken down with broken chassis, blocking 50% of the road. It cannot be towed. That's around Fidelity Roundabout inwards Etisola. This is within the Apapa corridor. I understand it has been cordoned up right now while we have traffic managers on ground alternating the traffic, owner working on the broken down truck and a tow van on its way for its evacuation. Minimal impact on traffic right now, but the traffic managers are on top of the situation as well. Okay, then, so you can join the conversation if you want to also connect with us on the benchmark this beautiful Friday morning. Feel free to do so, and that's on 091-5387-7127. 091-5387-7127. That's the numbers that you can use to connect with us on the program. If you also want to be part of the benchmark, okay, feel free to do so as well. All right, so we're touching down on the things that we need to know. We can make good use of surveyors, but in terms of technology now, where are we in the surveying profession? Surveyor Olubenga Adams?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you come with the question again?
So in terms of technology, the use of technology to advance the cause of the surveying profession, where are we with that?
Well, surveying profession is at the peak of advancement in terms of technology. It's just that inflation is not helping us.
Okay, just a second. Let's take this call. Just a second. Hello there.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Sylvia Usman.
Oh, Xavier Usman, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, sir.
Okay, so talk to me.
Yo, honestly, I've been enjoying the program, and kudos to Sylvia Adams and the other person that is speaking.
Right.
Thank you very much.
How long have you been a surveyor, Xavier Usman?
Yeah, since 4 years now.
4 years, so you're still relatively young in the profession.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And from
sir.
what you see, are people really coming to you? Do they patronize surveyors from what you see?
I can hear you.
I said, from what you see, are people really patronizing surveyors?
Yeah, sure, very sure, because that's the most the foundation. So
Okay.
that's the most foundation of the profession. So whatever you want to do, you need to consult surveyor for you to not go to, how do I say it?
Yes, whatever is needed, people need to connect with the surveyors, right? Okay, I guess we lost that. But Surveyor Usman, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. So for those of you who are not surveyors out there, you can also share your thoughts with us, really. Have you been making good use of surveyors for all the things that they're talking about in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the development of your land and all of that? If you want to do any construction, do you think of surveyors as the first point of call? Is that what you do? 08099120777, 09153877127. Those are the numbers that you can connect with us as well. Let's talk about challenges confronting the surveying profession. Surveyor Gunnar Roberts, what are some of the challenges?
Okay, one of the major challenges that we have confronting not just the profession but also practitioners is one, finance. You know, because surveying is one profession that technology has really impacted greatly.
Do you have a call? Okay,
That technology has really impacted greatly.
All right.
And for you to be a surveyor that is up to date with with deploying the right equipment,
All right.
you must be financially buoyant to an extent.
What are the equipments that surveyors use?
Okay, so we have, yes, the differential GPS, which is always improving. You know, the early differential GPS that we used to have some 10 years ago is a far cry from what we have now. We have differential GPS units now that are deployed with real-time cameras that can even help you take snapshots of inaccessible terrains and then deploy point clouds to extract coordinates and all that. We have the laser scan technology, and these equipment don't come cheap, you know. So, but part of the things that we have also done to encourage and to ensure that our members are up to date with this equipment so that finance is not an impediment is to encourage partnerships, to encourage collaborations. And then part of what we're also looking at in this current administration of the APPSN is to begin to reintroduce the instrument welfare scheme. We did it some years ago. We're also looking at reintroducing it, where the association helps members to procure this equipment and then they can pay in installments.
Right.
Yes.
Do you guys make use of drones?
Yes, we do. We do make use of drones. And then we have all manner of drones. The latest ones are drones that are equipped with LiDAR cameras. LiDAR cameras are specialized cameras that are able to, you know, penetrate through vegetation. For instance, if you're going to carry out a topographical survey and you use a regular drone, the results you will acquire will definitely be inaccurate.
Okay.
Yes, because especially if you have to fly the drone over vegetation.
Right.
Yes, whatever height you're getting will just be the height of those leaves that the drone assumes is your ground terrain. But if you have a LiDAR camera on board that drone, LiDAR is light, distance, and ranging.
Right.
So if you have a drone that has a LiDAR camera fitted into it, then you are sure that the rays of the camera will penetrate vegetation and hit the ground, and then you're sure of the accuracy of the results you're getting.
All right, this one says, good morning, Victor and the surveyors. What's the significance of EGIS in the surveying profession? She is sending this one in. So what is EGIS, right?
Okay, EGIS, Electronic Geographic Information System.
Right.
Well, for Geographic Information System in itself is an electronic system.
Okay.
So adding the E to it, so for me, I feel it's tautology. Anyway, even though that's my opinion.
Okay.
But yes, but the impact it has made to the profession, GIS is just simply automating the process, creating information systems that have geographic data, spatial data as the point of reference.
All right.
Yes. So we have just that we have management information system, and then accounting information system. You have geographic information system.
All right.
So it's an information system that uses spatial data.
Olugbenga, Surveyor Benga Adams, how many types of surveys do we have?
Well, we have cadastral survey. These are surveys that has to do with a portion of every land for registration of title. We have mining survey. This has to do with mining areas. We have area survey. This has to do with photogrammetry of capturing of a larger space of land, like doing mapping of Lagos State. We have hydrographical survey. This has to do with the survey of water bodies.
Okay.
We have special surveys that determine the content and location of underneath utilities. We have topographical survey that's to do with engineering survey. We have road survey. These are survey you do for road alignment, road construction. You have various aspects of surveying. You have special surveys. You have seismic survey.
So there are different types of surveying.
Yes, you have composite survey. You have that has to do with litigation of land, combination of one or two survey plan. So we have dispute survey. So we have various aspects of survey. So if you look at it, you will discover that surveying as a profession cut across every aspect of life.
All right, more reactions are coming in for you guys. This one says, good morning. Can accurate surveying help prevent flooding, drainage failures, or erosion in urban areas? Somi is sending that one in. I think Surveyor Agurobos touched on that earlier on, right?
Yes.
Another one here says, good morning, Victor. Please, what does sustainable urban growth mean, and how can surveyors help achieve it? You didn't put your name, but thank you so much. So, you want to respond to that, Surveyor Agurobos?
Yes, sustainable urban growth, as the name implies, is just the ability for an urban area to grow and not impede or deprive the future generations from also growing in their own time. So it means that the urbanization has to be systematic, such that you don't grow and outgrow the future generation. You know, yes. So planning has to be in place. It has to be systematic planning of infrastructure and other amenities that will serve the people that are resident in that place.
All right, then. Yes. As we gradually wind to the end this morning, Surveyor Olugbenga Adams, what's the message really, now that we are on this renewed drive and this advocacy program, what's the message from APPSN to Lagosians?
Yes, my message from APPSN to Lagosians is that they should try as much as possible not to patronize quad surveyors. They should try as much as possible when they are dealing with anybody that refer to them as a surveyor. They should put the name of that person on Google to find out if that person is actually a registered surveyor.
Okay.
They should try as much as possible to visit the person in his own personal office and look out for his certificate of registration, his plan, you understand, so that they will not fall a victim of having been paid for fake survey plan.
All right, and for Surveyor Ogona Roberts, where is APPSN? Where are you guys located in Lagos?
Yes, our secretariat is just on Asbifi Road, adjacent to Revenue House. You'll see the green building, Nigerian Institution of Surveyors building. We're on the first floor of that building. And then you can also reach us via our phone line, our official phone line that runs from 8 to 5 p.m. on 080-8092-7724. And then also on all the social media handles, Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria, Lagos State.
Even as a round-up, there's a message that just popped in here. It says, good morning, Victor. In a place like Lagos, with land pressure and informal settlements, how can surveyors help ensure proper land management? Nii is sending this one in from Ogba. Nii, thank you so much. So, do you guys help in doing that?
Yes, definitely. Surveyors play major roles in planning of cities, especially Lagos that is moving towards being a smart city. Yes, surveyors are very much involved in planning of cities.
Okay. All right. You can always reach out to the surveyors. You said your secretariat is at Alausa here?
Yes, Asbifi Road. in the CBD area of Alausa, just adjacent the Revenue House.
Right, and they can. Is there a number to call?
Yes, 080-8092-7724.
That's 080-8092-7724.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that for now. Savvy Olympic Adams, I wish you a nice time at the groundbreaking where you are. Thank you so much for connecting with us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. See you next week by God's grace.
Okay then, and to Savvy Ogona, Ogona Roberts, it's nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Lagos. See you next week, Friday.
Okay then, so this program comes on the air every Fridays from 10:15 through 11 o'clock. And this morning, we've looked at surveying as the foundation of sustainable infrastructure development and urban planning. We have to go. Mike James has produced the program this morning. Maximum shout out going out to Deborah Abolodioku and Okwemi Shodunke. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid weekend. Bye.